I appreciate you believing in me. Nobody else does.
Yep. Always, man.
All right, today's class, Environmental Emergencies, is brought to you by the EPA. They're the ones who put this together. Just kidding, it's got nothing to do with the EPA. Does anyone have any questions before we get started tonight? Thoughts for the day? I know you guys are all looking forward to these. Being a certified professional in EMS allows you to do things for people, not to people. So if you're excited about doing a privilege instead of a privilege, if you're excited about doing a procedure instead of about saving someone's life, you're doing this for no wrong reasons. Never forget, the majority of the people that you will run into on calls are having the worst day of their lives. You're not going to remember them 2 weeks from now. They're going to remember you for a lifetime. Truer words have never been spoken. Clear, accurate, detailed documentation will be your best friend 3 years from now when you're in court, or even 8 years from now when you're in court. The less clarity and less content you have, the more someone's going to put whatever they thought their viewpoint is, their interpretation is, into your documentation. You don't want that. Any questions? All right, we're going to go over exposure, hot and cold. It doesn't matter hot or cold. Some of it does matter, it's hot or cold. But there are some things that will be the same whether it's hot or cold. Your physical condition will determine how well you handle hot or cold emergencies. Same thing with your age, your nutrition, and your level of hydration. It's what allows your body to determine how well your body handles or doesn't handle hot or cold emergencies. Then, of course, the level of conditions themselves. Any questions? So we're gonna go over cold first. So how we gotta know about heat transfer to understand how your body loses heat. So hypothermia happens when you're losing heat faster than your body generated. So there's truly three main sources of heat transfer. So there's a couple rules you have to understand. Heat is just energy. It's not magic. Heat will always transfer from a higher source to a lower source through one of three routes. Cold can never go to hot. It doesn't work that way. I know you think it does with ice, it doesn't. So the first one is conduction. That's direct contact. Lying on a cold floor, touching a cold ice, cold metal post. Direct touching contact. It's conduction. The next mode of heat transfer is convection. Convection is through air or water. The third one, which is probably the least understood by most people, is radiation. And that is through electromagnetic waves of light. Radiation, a lot of people don't understand. Because they say radiation, they think of sunlight, they think of microwave ovens. They don't realize that your body is radiating heat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you don't want to lose heat from radiation, you have to block the electromagnetic rays of light coming off of your body, i.e., clothing, gloves, hoodies. So when the smaller digits and flanges like radiators,
the more radiation you get. So your fingers, your toes, your ears, your nose are your biggest radiators of heat. So when you put gloves on, you don't lose heat as quick. Give me an example of how people don't understand radiation. Hot summer nights. By far my favorite time of the year. Doesn't matter how hot it is outside, if you go to sleep and your metabolism lowers and your heat production lowers, if you don't have at least a sheet over you or a newspaper or something, you're going to get cold lying there. That's because your body's radiating heat. But if you put the smallest, thinnest sheet over you, it stops that from happening. That's because you're blocking the radiation. Make sense? All right. So how do you know how much heat's been lost or produced? Well, again, if you're losing heat faster than you're producing it, you're going to get hypothermic. One of the fastest ways to lose heat or to transfer heat is convection, which is why radiators are so popular. Even though radiant heat is different than convection. Wet clothing, wet skin. It's one of the fastest ways to lose heat. That's why one of your body's natural cooling mechanisms in heat emergencies is to sweat. The evaporation coming out of your skin creates that heat loss. So how do you stop that from happening? One, stay dry. Two, wear insulated clothing. Be prepared. Especially if you're working in emergency services. You know it's going to be cold. You know it's going to be wet and windy. Be prepared. Wear the proper uniform. Wear the proper clothing. Any questions? Gotta love Buffalo.
Another dangerous game kids play is to tumble in snowbanks near the road. A few years ago, one boy actually
Like affects snow, it's like powder. It's like powder. It's like powdered sugar. So dry. Another common misconception, the weather does not have to be below 32 degrees to get hypothermic. Matter of fact, you will see more hypothermic cases in the 40s and 50s with people that have wet clothing that are in the rain than you will see at temperatures that are below freezing and dry. Any questions? Older people that don't have the vasoconstriction and vasodilation like they used to are more risk. So we're babies because they have, just like burns, a larger surface to mass ratio, which means they radiate heat a lot faster, even though they have a higher metabolism that generates more heat. They still radiate it off too fast. Any questions? Signs, symptoms of mild hypothermia: shivering. Your body will shiver to create heat. That's what had your body's natural response when it's losing more heat than it's producing. So it gets you to shiver so you can create more heat. Heart rate goes up, respiration goes up, then eventually your body starts shutting blood away from your skin. So you can save heat by not losing it through radiation. Any questions? When you start getting into severe hypothermia, shivering stops, muscle activity drops, fine muscle activity drops, and pretty soon everything stops. Then you die. Good news is though, in EMS, we don't consider anyone to be dead unless they are warm and dead. Any questions? No questions. So people, they get their core temperature, that's not their extremities, that's their inside the trunk of their body. Their core temperature gets below 80. They're going to appear to be dead, but they may not be. Again, they're not dead till they're warm and dead. Any questions? Let's see what you guys have learned already. You're dispatched to a man down in a back alley at 2:45 in the morning. What do we do first? Scene size up. Law enforcement's on scene. Nature of illness patient's unresponsive. Nobody knows what happened to him. One guy is lying in a coma position on wet pavement. It's 49 degrees outside. Long ways from being freezing. But it's raining. There's an ambulance and a fire engine on scene. No need for additional resources. Medical gear. All right, field trip, everybody. Got an ambulance fire to scene anyway. Nobody knows what happened, so you take a C-spine. For all you know, Bigfoot came out, clubbed in, have the rock and broke his neck. What's next? So let's look at his eyes open to verbal stimuli. So when you talk to him, he actually opens his eyes. Chief complaint tells you it's cold. His airway is clear, breathing adequately, got a weak rapid radial pulse. Is he a priority patient? Probably. What's next? Signs and symptoms. Colds, clothes are soaking wet, no allergies, no meds, no past criminal history. His last meal was last night. And you just woke him up and he feels very cold. What's next? Secondary assessment. You're the one that answers the question. Blood pressure 100/62, pulse rate's 120. Eyes open to voice. He's fully oriented. He can be a simple command. What's his GCS? 15. Somebody said 15, somebody said 14. 14? Yeah, correct. Physical exam's negative. What do we do? First thing is get him out of the rain. Second thing is get every stitch of wet clothing off him and dry him and then wrap him in warm blankets. As long as he has wet clothing on, that wet clothing will be pulling heat away from his body faster than he can produce it. Any questions? Give you another example of that. Is there anyone that hasn't gone swimming in California? You've never been swimming in California? You don't know? Never jumped in a pool, lake, or river here? Where are you from? Washington. Close. When you get out of the pool here, even on the hottest summer day, what do you feel? As soon as you get out of the pool, cool. From evaporation. Now, have you ever gone swimming in Florida or Buffalo or Chicago in the summertime? Huh? Or Louisiana?
Yeah.
Texas? When you get out of the pool, do you feel cold?
No.
No.
Gross.
You feel gross as soon as you get out of the pool.
Yeah.
You don't have that refreshing cool because the humidity, the relative humidity in those places summertime is 70-80% as opposed to 15 to 20% here. So you don't get the evaporation. So that's why when you go swimming out back east or in those high humid areas, you get out of the pool, it doesn't matter. That's why you just stay in the pool. That's why swimming bars are so popular places. And Russians. It's a joke.
You said to take every piece of clothing on the,
Wet
was
clothing,
wet,
yes.
would that potentially mean carbonated?
Yeah.
It's not a number?
Yep. Otherwise, they're gonna be hypothermic. I can't tell you how many times I've seen soaking wet people strapped to a backboard with broken hips and stuff. And they are just cold as hell, gotta get it off. Throw a blanket over them and then tear it off underneath the blanket, going to protect modesty. But they have to have the wet clothing. Any questions? Baseline vitals, monitor mental status. No one's dead till they're warm and dead. Very good. See how much you guys learned? Any questions? Don't warm them too fast. Gentle passive warming and transport. Warm them too fast, they'll die. Rhabdomyolysis. Because what'll happen is you'll have all the acids and stuff in the cells that aren't perfusing because the blood's been shunted in. Then it shuts out to the extremities, you warm too fast, and all those acids go into the red bloodstream. You get rhabdo. Gotta do it slowly. Give the kidneys time to process all that acid out. Any questions? There's gonna be a slide on here that's wrong that I've never corrected. It's gonna say put them in 110-degree bath or so. It's like, don't ever do that. That's way too hot for anyone. Tepid water. So the types of cold injuries. Frostnip. Freezing to the skin. Not usually a big deal. Trench foots when you've had your feet wet, soaking wet cold water for too long. And frostbite's when you want to avoid it at all costs, because that's when the tissue actually dies from being frozen. Then when it warms up, it gets gangrene, then you get septic, then you die. Any questions? So usually I start off by explaining to you guys, and I kind of skipped over that, something like that. The hot and cold is truly an opinion. There's no factual or scientific basis on hot and cold. There's only levels of energy and energy transfer. And to give you an example that hot and cold is an opinion, you spend any time in Weed, California, or System County in the wintertime, you've probably got your hands pretty cold and wet at some point in the snow or outside. And if you come inside to wash your hands, because I hope you all wash your hands, you notice even the faucet on cold water feels warm or even hot. And that's because that 40-degree water coming out of the tap here is warmer, has more energy in it than what's on your fingers that have radiated, convected, conducted all the heat out while you're outside playing snow all day or shoveling stuff. That's just an opinion. And on top of that, that 40-degree water having more energy than your fingers do is still transferring heat from that water back into your fingers. Any questions? So what do you do for any of those local cold injuries on the hands and foot, frostnip, frostbite, trench foot? Again, remove them from the causative agent. Handle with care. Give them oxygen. Make sure they have on dry clothing. Remove any wet clothing. Don't rub the area. Don't break blisters. Just passive warming. Transport. You don't put them in a hot tub. Any questions? There it is. 100 to 112 degrees Fahrenheit. No. Not more than 100 degrees. Normal body temperature is right at 98.6. You don't want it to be more than 100. And you start with cool water, you slowly warm it, but you won't be doing that at EMS. I have no idea who the ridiculous person was. It wasn't. Next semester, we're doing 13th edition. It's gonna go bye-bye. Biggest thing is scene safety BSI. Don't become hypothermic yourself. Do not make another victim. You are there to be the rescuer, not the next victim. Make sure that you're aware of that your objective is clear. Any questions? If you become a casualty, you have helped no one and you have just made the situation for you, your team, and your patient worse. Any questions? Move on to heat. Any questions about cold? All right, we're going to move on to hyperthermia. So heat emergencies is when your body cannot displace heat faster than it's absorbing it. But generally, your body has some pretty good cooling mechanisms. You can vasodilate. And if you're hydrated, you can sweat, which creates evaporation. And it does a pretty good job of cooling your body. However, if the temperature, ambient outside temperature, is more than what your body can displace, you will end up in a heat emergency. Any questions so far? So the first stage is heat cramps. This is when you've lost so many electrolytes, so your muscles start to spasm and cramp. What do? Get them all out of the causative agent. Remove them from the environment. Give them small sips of water, not large, small. Just enough for it to be absorbed by the intestinal tract. And they should be transported. Any questions about heat cramps? So the next stage is heat exhaustion. This is when your body is in full-blown overdrive cooling mode. Profusely sweating. They're going to start getting dizzy and weak. They're going to have cool, wet skin because they are trying to get as much heat out of their body as they possibly can. And they'll probably be tachycardic. So when you see this, what do? Remove them from the causative agent. Get them cool. Any questions? They're going to be really thirsty because they're going to want to replenish the amount of sweating that they've done. Any questions? So, I disagree with this. I've been doing this I'm into my 5th decade. I can tell you for a fact, removing clothing, it's not a bad idea. But if you truly want to cool someone fast, is to leave their clothing on and soak the clothing in water. Wet clothing displaces heat better than anything else. Any questions? So, if heat exhaustion does not get resolved, they don't get removed from the causative agent. The next step it leads to, and it just goes like that when they switch. As soon as they run out of compensatory mechanisms, they can't sweat anymore. They've exhausted all of their ability. Then they go into heat stroke, which is an immediate life-threatening emergency. Their skin becomes hot, dry, and flushed. They start having behavioral changes, which then leads to unresponsiveness. Heart rate goes up, and then it begins to drop rapidly down to bradycardia. Blood pressure drops, and they die. Any questions? Care for heat stroke. Nothing else matters. You got to get them out of the environment, remove them from the causative agent, and you have to get them cool by any measures possible, preferably drenching them in copious amounts of water, but not drowning them. You can put them in a creek, a river, a swimming pool, hose them down with a water or hard line, works fantastic on wet clothing. And then keep doing it. Just keep flushing them until you get the heat out. If you don't have that ability, ice packs inside their armpits and their groins.
Then you don't have to. You can do it fast, or slow, like.
Right, no. You want to do it fast. You want to, if they're in heat stroke, they're next to death. You've got to get them cool.
Would that not cause them to go into shock? Like the rapid, if you're trying to.
Now, what's your least bad answer? Okay. Any questions? All right, you guys ready to learn about drowning? Any questions about heat emergencies? Any questions about cold emergencies? Oh. Any questions about drownings? So drowning is suffocation submerged in water. Don't recommend it. Near drowning is almost suffocating in water but surviving. Any questions? So how do you drown? Something goes wrong. You either take in water, you get too fatigued, you can't cope with the current, you're injured, too cold, get entangled, get disoriented, you end up with nitrogen necrosis. Then you panic and lose control. You begin to sink, can't breathe, your carbon dioxide goes up, your oxygen saturation goes down, you lose your buoyancy, you sink like a rock. Then you die. Questions? With the diving, there's a very good chance it's a diving injury. They often end up with spinal trauma. Unless they struck something when they dove in. Anytime there's unconscious or they have weakness or a deficit in a limb, you should suspect spinal trauma. Any questions? You can stand up in the water. It's probably one of the best ways to see spine someone, all backwards, portal or floatable. Real easy to go in there and see spine. You can't stand up in the water, it's a little bit harder to see signs of going in the water while you try to tread water yourself. It's near impossible. Any questions? All right, let's go over lifeguarding. People make bad choices. You guys ready? Hopefully they take it away. This is the copyright.
These guys are lifeguards at the facility here. but I am the personal lifeguard of these daredevils. And if they step on my feet while I'm guarding, they're the ones that are gonna need rescuing.
That's no BS, I gotta tell you.
Good idea.
Oh, this is scary. This is scary. And there's no way to get out except this drop.
Good day. Luckily, these lifeguards stayed out of my way while I was making my saves. Nobody had to get hurt.
So cold water dreadage, hypothermia is common. There have been full survivals with no neurologic deficit with children that have been submerged over an hour. It is possible to resuscitate them. Something you should know about Siskiyou County, especially is diving reflex. We used to get it a lot here in Weed back when they had the sweat tent at Stewart Springs. I've run 3 codes on it, got all 3 of them back. Just great. But diving reflex is when you enter a sudden blast of cold water. It stimulates the vagal nerve, which is your parasympathetic nervous system, and slows your heart down to next to 0. So if you'll come out of a sweat tent, they dive into Parks Creek or freezing cold glacier melt creek and shuts their heart rate completely down. Get them out, do immediate CPR, usually get them right back. But you need to be aware of diving reflex because it does happen around here. Any questions? One complication after resuscitated with diverticulitis. Not really. So we don't see a whole lot of scuba stuff around here. We had one at Shasta Lake a few years ago that was pretty tragic, but they're pretty rare around here. So diving descent problems are generally from scuba. Not a whole lot of scuba traffic around here. There are scuba divers, but it's pretty rare. If people come back up too quickly, so the deeper you go, the more atmospheres you go down, the more pressure you're under. And if you come back at a faster rate than you descended, the pressures are different. You end up getting air embolisms and nitrogen inside spots it shouldn't be in. And it's called decompression sickness, also known as the bends. And the only treatment is to get them to a decompression chamber, put them properly back under pressure, then slowly take them off again. There are no decompression chambers in this area. One second. What are the signs and symptoms of decompression sickness? Blotching, frothy skin, front of the mouth, severe pain in the muscles and joints, dyspnea, chest pain. Questions? Dizziness, nausea, vomiting, dysphagia, vision issues, can cause paralysis, coma, and it can kill you. Any questions? That's what a decompression chamber looks like. Now, you as an EMT may get to go in there with the patient. Treat the patient while they go back under pressure, then come back off of it. If claustrophobic, you might want to avoid that assignment. Any questions? So how do you keep yourself from drowning? One, don't drive through water. It's covering a road. But generally, if water is free flowing over a road, it's eating away the roadbed beneath it. Even though the road looks fine, when you put the weight of a vehicle, especially a fire engine or an ambulance, it's going to collapse the road. And then you're going to be stuck inside the water. And that's going to carry you away and drown you. So that's why they have the term turnaround, don't drown. Any questions? Don't try to rescue someone in swift water unless you are swift water trained and part of a swift water rescue team. That would violate your scene safe BSI. Any questions? What's that? Be suspicious of alcohol use. Alcohol and drownings go hand in hand. A lot of times, especially with adults, most adult drownings have alcohol involved. Any questions? So people that don't drown that are near drowning should always go to the hospital because they will develop pulmonary edema later. So freshwater near drownings and saltwater near drownings have completely separate etiologies, but they end up with the same pulmonary edema. Any questions? Any questions? Not a lot to add here. Right. So what do? Ventilate him as soon as possible. If you suspect spinal injury, C-spino. Try to keep him warm. And remember, nobody's dead till they're warm and dead. Any questions? That's a great idea. So someone that is drowned or is near drowning, you should remove them from the water. Any questions? Sure glad we have this slide. I did not know that. Never thought of it.
Still see the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you turn a fire hydrant on, you fill the pool.
Splash now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions? No questions, huh? Things you want to know. What happened? Why did it happen? Were there any problems with extrication, getting them out of the water? How long were they under for? What was the temperature of the water? Was there clarity? Were there any indications of a potential for spinal injury? And if there's scubas, if you can, bring their dive log and dive computer and any equipment with you. All right, fire science students, what's the difference between a SCBA and a scuba device? What's the difference? Huh? Nope. Nope.
It's a trick question.
What does SCBA stand for? What does scuba stand for? Somebody just got it, yeah. It said it like a little church mouse, but no one could hear it, but self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. It's for underwater. Any questions? Breath holding syncope is a real thing. I did it as a child. Damn near killed me. Woke up with lifeguards all around me. Like, what happened? I'm okay. Oh yeah, injuries from marine animals. Make sure you pee on yourself. Just kidding. That's just something.
I mean,
It doesn't work. I don't know where it came from. The only thing I know that really works is the Aussies use the little green inhalers, the greenies. I can't remember what it is. I thought it was nitrous, but it's not. It's another inhaled painkiller. Pools should have fences. Alcohol involved drownings of pools is enormous. Any questions? All of my drowning videos have been removed by YouTube. Yeah, the videos are just terrible to watch.
Yeah.
Even I have a hard time watching it. Where kids are drowning in pools and nobody's noticing. And then we might have some of them back through time. I doubt it though. Oh shit, it's back. So they took this one away. So I posted this video and it didn't meet YouTube's standards. Yeah, their communities, it was a violation of their community standards. But somebody else did it, it's okay, but no one notices. That is a drowning child. Yeah.
no, that's not.
No, he's drowning.
Yeah. That probably is like, you're just sitting at the bar. Oh, Jesus. Staring.
Yeah. So I wonder whose kid that is drowning.
That's crazy.
Are you still watching?
Oh, buddy.
He's losing it. Somebody finally notices.
He's right there. Oh.
There he goes. He just lost. Little guy fought for a long time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I remember mom was having a cocktail in her room with some people she met at the pool. There he goes. Lady's right next to him. Hard to watch.
You know what's going on?
I think, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time. I said it's been gone for a long time, because I said they removed it from me. But somebody finally figured it out. It went right by him.
Wow.
And they did resuscitate him, but I think he had an anoxic brain injury.
That happened last year at the Park Maitland School swimming school, but the
Yeah, nobody, I can't believe that one's back. There's a couple others I had. Every one of the ones that I did, they took away. It does not meet our community standards.
Notice the artificial waves made by machine in this video posted online. Now see the 3-year-old child. She's drowning. Thank goodness the lifeguard is super alert. Watch as he leaps in feet first, reaching the drowning girl in the nick of time. Now look, it's the same pool. You can see a youngster struggling in the deep end. Once more, a lifeguard comes to the rescue. And there's drama at this beach where a young girl is in trouble. There's a father and his daughter right by her, but they don't notice. This extraordinary video shot with a GoPro on a rescue board shows the lifeguard saving the little girl.
Good notes back. All right, any questions about drowning? Pay attention when you're at a swimming pool. Come on.
Watch your kids.
Yeah, watch your kids. They'll go back to the room and have a cocktail. Oh, there's a whole bunch of people at the pool. They'll watch. All the strangers will watch the kids. All right, lightning. We do get lightning strikes. Does happen. Most of the ones you'll see are not direct hits. They're indirect, which can do a lot of damage. I've had indirect hits to my body. It's impressive.
Pretty shocking.
It's just, let me tell you, until you experience it, you have no idea, and you feel it go through your body. I was at Lake Shasta once when a cell rolled in, and we were lying on the beach, and girl has this, she had hair kind of like Brigette's, long blonde hair all the way down, about halfway down her back, and the lightning bolt came in about 50 yards from location and exploded a tree, and her hair went straight out like a cartoon. And I literally felt it go completely through my body. It's like nothing I've ever experienced. Just energy just went straight through my body. It was definitely an indirect hit.
Yeah.
And we left everything, just ran for the pickup truck, jumped to the truck, got the hell out of there, waited for the cell to pass, and went back and got our stuff. But yeah, it was cool. So 3 categories of lightning injuries. One's mild, You get lost conscious, tingling, superficial burns. I didn't get burns from the one I had, but then I felt it go through. I was about 50 yards away, I still felt it. And the tree literally exploded. It's about a 15, 16-foot tree, and there was nothing left of it. Just decimated it. There was bark on the hood of my pickup truck. Moderate cause severe seizures, respiratory arrest, superficial burns, and of course severe can cause cardiac arrest. You can get cardiac arrest from indirect hits. Again, don't become a casualty. Don't double the number of patients. Reverse triage. So generally in triage, you don't start CPR. Lightning strike triage, you do start CPR at AEDs as soon as possible. Because a lot of times they're a VFib and you can shock them right back out of it. Want to see some lightning? How do people put themselves in the position of being struck by lightning?
It's good. Should put your camera out and tell them, you know, where you can get it on video. So.
We got security cameras everywhere nowadays.
If the call that works there,
Did you know?
if they call it on the air.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Okay, I already did it.
My God!
Hot day, we can do that.
See how we did?
Any questions? All right, spiders. All right. So black widows are prominent in this area. Brown rufous aren't, but they can travel here. So we do have shipping containers that do bring all kinds of interesting things. Black widows are in 49 states. The only state they're not in is Alaska because they're smart enough to live in an area that's not freaking cold. They're reclusive. They generally hide in wood piles, cold, dark areas. They're hard to miss with black little red fiddle on their back. They bite you, it will approach your skin, the venom will rot your skin and your tissue. You should be seen. Any questions? Yeah, brown are close. Don't see too many of them here. They're also reclusive, as in their name. That's what they look like. Pretty ugly bastards. Any questions? Snake bites. So what are snake bites? 8 ounces of hard cider and 8 ounces of lager. 8 ounces of lager and 8 ounces of hard cider. That's a snake bite. They're pretty good. They're not bad. People don't usually die from snake bites. It's pretty rare, especially in the United States, unless you get like an exotic snake from the Middle East or somewhere. Or Australia. The Aussies have all kinds of deadly snakes. We used to do all kinds of crazy stuff like slice the bite open and suck the venom out. Do constricting bands. We don't do any of that anymore. All we do now is split to keep the level of the heart transport. So how do you get bitten by a snake? So in my long storied career, I've only had 2 consistent factors with snake bites. 1, gender. I've never seen a female bitten by a snake in my career. Not saying it doesn't happen. Never seen it. 2, I have never seen a sober person bitten by a snake. Every snake bite that I have ever been encountered with has been a male under the influence of alcohol. Hey, Jethro, hold my beer. Watch this while I can do a snack. Every freaking one of them. And then you got this guy that wanted to be the crocodile hunter. It reminds me of guys like this breed.
Oh. There's a real adult sized. I one, call one, hey? Please. Oh, that's a beautiful one. Now that's mine. That's more like an adult size. He's probably 5 to 2 years. Hey, behave yourself. Look at that. Come on. That's a beautiful thing. Very sure of himself. Sure of his size and his strength and his venom power. Wants to move away, but he still wants to. This is what I want to photograph. And just get him to relax. But see how he's not bad tempered like the little one? Come look at me. Slowly move around and you can get a good look at his hood. Look at that hood. Pretty beautiful. All a warning. If this snake was now faced by a mongoose, he'd probably be in trouble. Because a mongoose is able to
I
wait
think
for
I'd
that
show you
strike.
this video if you didn't know it.
I've been bitten, right? I've been bitten.
I've been bitten, Oz.
Quickly got into a car.
Gee, who saw that coming?
Great bandage. Real tight. Real tight. Somebody watching that cobra? God, there's nothing to venom in the vein. Anti-venom was on hand.
Did you hear that idiot just said, is anyone watching that cobra? He had to freaking harass that cobra for 15 minutes before it freaking bit him. Unlike in Hollywood, snakes are not lying in wait just to bite you. It's not like, I can't wait for a human to come by me to bite. They only bite you as a last resort.
And the local hospital had been
What's
forwarded.
that?
Things alone.
Exactly. You have to ask a snake to bite you. It doesn't happen accidentally.
If the venom went untreated, you'd be dead in half that time.
And they're driving on the wrong side of the road. Well, it's right side of the road, but it's upside down, so it's right side.
That is your most frightening scenario, because if venom enters directly into a vein, I could be dead within 10 minutes. However, I saw that it was a cut, it wasn't an actual injection, the thing had cut my finger. And it sliced the vein. So in that way, the vein actually helps to flush out any venom that might have been lying around, pumped it out. And then applying suction aid with a little sucking machine.
Couple
So
of
all in
tips for you
all,
guys for
and then applying
EMTs.
suction.
One, don't put the blood pressure cuff over his clothing, it goes on bare skin. And two, don't put the pulse ox where the blood pressure cuff's shutting off the artery to take the BP, the pulse ox goes on the other hand. And I have to go teach EMT to Australians.
With a little sucking machine. So all in all, somebody's looking after me.
Huh? Ah,
It will never happen again, never again. This is it, again, to hold this. Nevertheless, just 2 short hours later, I was back out in the field. Well, it's been a traumatic day. I don't need all of that bandage, but I came to get a photograph and I intend to get it. That cover is so big, it's so fantastic. I've got my camera, I'm back, and I'm gonna get this damn shot.
Oh, why you again?
Snakes don't move very much during the heat of the day. I knew that cobra would be pretty much where I left it.
Okay, I'm gonna put you.
it could be South Africa, I don't know if it's Australia or South Africa. 6 one, half a dozen the other. Yes.
That's a bomb over here.
The Guardian try and get an action strike as he lands at him. That's the best I've got because he doesn't want to keep score. There we go.
This might be more stuff.
Okay, I've done a whole lot of shots hoping that it's just catching him more or less center screen. He's a dangerous boy, but he is fantastic. Taking a lot of nonsense from me today.
Yes.
That's nice. Good. Good. One more. Good.
So about 1 person a month dies out of 320 million in the United States. It's pretty rare.
Outside of the dumbest person in the world.
But it's
Everyone else doesn't die.
Yeah.
Natural selection.
So types of snakes that are poisonous that you may run across. Rattlesnakes, copperheads, cottonmouth and coral snakes. Not to be confused with king snakes. King snakes are red and black. Red on black, venom will lack. Yellow will kill a pillow. How you come with different.
They have the diamonds on their back.
Well, that's a rattler, not a coral. Coral snakes and king snakes will get confused by it. Rattlers are pretty unmistakable. You go tick, tick, tick.
Yellow is like fellow.
Yellow kills.
Red and yellow will kill a pillow. Red on black, venom will lack.
Yeah, mouse, never.
Any questions about rattlers? What happens if you get bit? Weakness, sweating, fainting, shock. Get to a hospital, get anti-venom. They used to have the largest pile of anti-venom stock in the nation at Fairchild, but they don't anymore. They don't have as much alcohol in males in Wairika. No, I just think they stopped, it's too expensive. But Wairika gets an enormous, way above per capita of snake bites. Way above per capita. Very high. Again, splint. Keep it at heart level. Transport. We don't do any other stuff anymore. Sure, mark it with a pen. Okay. Only bring the snake to the hospital if it's dead.
I really want to go in. They can keep striking though, I'm gonna have to go in.
That's why you always want a Diamondback on your bowling team. They're all snakes, not many bowlers in here. All right, coral snakes. Red, yellow, and black bands. Red on yellow will kill a fellow. There's no yellow band, it's a king snake, it's harmless. Any questions on coral snakes versus king snakes? Split, transport. Any questions? Don't give the snake anything by mouth. Wait, I mean, patient. Question? Scorpions. Generally also are not deadly. They are a very dangerous German rock band. Usually found in arenas, record stores, MP3 files. They're generally not deadly, but they are very painful. At least here in the States. They are in Siskiyou County. They do exist. I know they're at least in Dunsmore. I'm not sure about where else. They got to be in North County.
Forest Valley.
Don't screw with them. They live under rocks. Leave them alone. Again, you got to ask to be bitten or stung, not bitten. Any questions? Ticks. Ticks cause problems. They carry disease. They're dirty little suckers.
Lyme disease.
Literally. Biggest thing you got to watch out for with tick bites is Rocky Mountain spotted fever and Lyme disease. So it takes about 7 to 10 days for Rocky Mountain speeder to incubate after you've been bitten. And it can kill you if it goes untreated. Any questions? Only known cure is Rocky Mountain oysters.
No. I see.
Lyme disease. Ticks do carry it. Generally only happens in states that have citrus crops. Just kidding. Wrong kind of line. It's the same as the dry acid. Not really. Any questions about Lyme disease? All right. Don't try to burn the tick, it'll burrow deeper. Don't try to suffocate it, it will burrow deeper. You're supposed to use fine tweezers to pull it out. Yeah, it's never good. Then you transport and have a doctor cut it out. Any questions? Stay away from ticks. Injuries from marine animals. Don't get a lot of those here. The jellyfish in Lake Siskiyou are pretty benign. Again, there's not a whole lot you can do for it. It's very painful. Vinegar does nothing, urine does nothing. Any questions? Any questions? They can be fatal. The little tiny ones, box jellyfish, they will kill you. One sting and result in complete respiratory collapse.
Snakes too, right? If the babies, that they get pretty big.
Yeah, but not here in the States. That's like a 3-step. Yeah, you gotta be places like Australia that'll kill you, South Africa, where all those things are, or they gotta be imported here.
I was taught so wrong.
Now that's no good. All right. No, you cannot take a 45-minute break. We're gonna learn about babies. Yeah, that's America's version of Pride Rock right there. You're gonna be fine. It's a natural process.
Oh, yeah. That's what men say. Any part of that. That's what men do.
All right, choosing your actions based on values and interests instead of your personal gain is what integrity is. It's telling yourself the truth and honestly telling others the truth. I do. Integrity is shown in your actions, not your words. It's measured in your actions, not your words. You spend a lifetime building integrity, it only takes one negative action to destroy it completely. The truest measure of integrity is doing what you know is the right thing, even when you know no one else is noticing or watching. That's the truest measurement. Any questions? All right, let's learn about babies. All right, so here's a video of a delivery. Hang in there. It'll be okay. This is a complicated birth and how to deal with complicated pregnancies when not things.
They're going great, honey. We're almost there. Freeze. Okay. I see the baby's head. I need one look with big push. Come on, honey, push. Okay, I see the baby. He's coming. Here he comes. He's coming. Here he comes. What the hell? What? What happened? I'm not sure. What do you mean you're not sure? You're the doctor. What is it with my baby? Lacey, quietly, why don't you tell us what's happening? Okay, don't panic. It's okay. It's okay. I think. What do you mean you think? You're the doctor. You like, you tell me where my baby is. You tell me right now where my baby is, or so help me, I don't know how I'm gonna. Calm down. All right, calm down, okay? Now look, everybody. Something happened. What happened? Well, his head came out. Yeah, and then what? And then he turned around and went back in. What do you mean he turned around and went back in? Can he do that? It was the weirdest thing. I could swear it was like his head came out, he looked around, didn't like what he saw, and he turned around and went back in. What the hell are you going to do about it? He can't just stay in there, can he? Get him out! Get him out! Speak on! Speak on! Freeze! I blame you! I wonder. Hey, got an idea. A lollipop? How can you think about food at a time like this? It is not for me, okay? Now look, maybe, just maybe, there's a chance we can coax him out. Coax him out. Come on, baby. See, I got a lollipop for you. It's not so bad, I hear. It's not so bad. I think he's going for it. Come on, baby. Come on. Hey! What faster? Fine. We're gonna do this the hard way. Obviously not coming out on his own. Oh, so what? You're just gonna drag him out of there? Are you nuts? What? Are you sure? Alright, hold on. Okay, I got him. Come on, the damn thing bit me. Alright, okay, go. Come on, wait a minute. I don't know, wait, fat boy. Come on. Back to the fire. Breathe. There you go. One healthy and happy baby girl. Congratulations. He's so little. Can I hold him? Please?
Be careful.
Hi, little guy. Oh, thank you, dear Dad. Yeah. Oh, he just took out my arm! He's going in! He went back in! I'm sorry. Here we go again.
Any questions?
Yeah.
No, I don't have that one in here.
That's a good one. Slide right now. It's a good one. Super Bowl commercial. Like 4 years.
Oh, I miss Mad TV. That brings us to the female reproductive system. Any questions? Picture's worth 1,000 words.
I want to trip this effort.
You're not gonna make it.
I don't want to make it an LOD.
It's part of EMS.
Oh, God.
So you need to know what a uterus is. It's a smooth muscular organ. It's supposed to contain the fetus, the placenta, the fetal membranes, and the umbilical cord, which attaches the fetus to the placenta. Any questions so far? All right, the placenta. Placenta is a vascular organ that's attached to the uterine wall that provides the baby with mom's nourishment, oxygen, and gets rid of the waste and carbon dioxide and changes it back to mom. It's a pretty cool system. It's literally the lifeline for the baby, the umbilical cord to the placenta. It's important you know and understand this because when we get into complications with the placenta, you need to understand how and why it works. So then you can understand the complications. Any questions? Looks big enough. No questions, eh? So a lot of physiological changes happen when a female becomes pregnant. These are important things to know. Plasma increases by 50%. That's a lot of water. Heart rate increases by 50 to 20 beats per minute. The blood pressure decreases because it puts pressure on the inferior vena cava, which takes off preload going to the right atrium, right ventricle. also pushes the diaphragm up, so they can't get as much chest expansion, so they can't breathe nearly get as good a tidal volume as they did when they're not pregnant. And if they're in their third trimester, which is the last 3 months of a pregnancy, it's really important that you do not lie them flat on their back, because then it completely compresses the inferior vena cava and gives life-threatening hypotension due to lack of breathing. And that's called supine hypotensive syndrome. And there will be test questions on it. Any questions? So in humans, a pregnancy generally lasts 10 lunar months. I know you've been told 9 months, but you've been lied to. It's actually 10 lunar months. A lunar month is full moon to full moon. Which also means conception can only happen on a full moon. What? Just kidding. So basically 280 days. So to calculate a due date, you try to figure out what day you think conception happened. Subtract 3 months and add a week. That's how you get a due date. It's really that simple. Hardcore science there. Any questions? All right, 3 stages of labor. Stage left, stage center. No, just kidding. Theater kids. All right. First stage is dilation of the cervix. Second stage, which is the longest one, is the baby being born. And the third stage is the delivery of the placenta. Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Labor has 3 stages. In the first stage of labor, the body prepares to give birth. There are 2 phases, early and active. Early labor can last from hours to days. First-time moms may spend more time in this phase. The cervix, or the opening to the uterus, begins to soften, efface or thin out, and dilate or open. The cervical changes are necessary so the baby can pass through. Usually, a woman's water breaks during the first stage of labor. Contractions or tightening of the uterus becomes strong and regular. Typically, the woman will have a 30 to 70-second long contraction every 5 to 20 minutes. There may also be a stringy, bloody discharge from the vagina called bloody show. This is considered normal. Active labor occurs when the cervix starts to dilate more quickly. Contractions get stronger, last longer, and occur more often. The cervix continues to open wider to about 10 centimeters. Then pushing can start. In the second stage of labor, the child is born. A healthcare provider usually encourages the woman to push to help the baby move down the vagina. She might push for minutes or hours. Once the baby's head starts to come out, called crowning, a provider guides the rest of the baby out. Childbirth is finished when the baby is completely out of the vagina. The provider then cuts and clamps the umbilical cord, which connected mom and baby during pregnancy. The last stage of labor involves delivery of the placenta or afterbirth. During pregnancy, the placenta supplies food and oxygen to the fetus. Once the umbilical cord is cut, the placenta has to come out. Contractions typically begin 5 to 10 minutes after the baby's birth. During this time, the placenta detaches from the uterus. A provider may encourage the woman to push, just as she did to deliver the baby. After 5 to 30 minutes, the placenta comes completely out of the vagina. Then the process is complete.
Any questions? Stage 1 is the longest stage of labor. Cervix fully dilates. Contractions begin. The water breaks. And this is a long stage. Yeah, mine never has. All three of my kids, my water never. I was lucky. Any questions? Stage 2. Baby heads out, hopefully. It's not, it's gonna be a breach or limb presentation. So crowning is what makes or breaks whether you're gonna transport or you're gonna stay and deliver a baby. So what you do is you check, and if you can see the head pushing against the vagina, then you need to prepare for immediate delivery or impending delivery. You don't transport and then try to catch the baby going go 3 down the highway. You prepare to deliver on scene.
And then she went out. And they already.
And they poop. Well, there, if you see crowding and then they got to push, you better pull over. It's a safe spot.
Have you had to deliver a baby?
Where's my stick? It's real wood. I have never delivered a baby. I am smart. I know how to stop labor and get to the ER. I bring my friend with me called the antidiuretic hormone, also known as ADH. Works very well. So either the baby's already born, it's not born yet, they're not crowning. I will stimulate ADH and they will not till they get to the hospital. And I'm very good at that. Any questions?
What is that?
Antidiuretic hormone?
Yeah.
It's when you give them a ton of fluid and it stimulates the antidiuretic hormone, which then stops contractions.
Oh.
So it buys you time to get to a hospital.
Okay,
So you throw a large bore IV in, hook up a bag of saline and run it wide open.
okay.
Huh?
How much that is that?
About 20 minutes. Enough to get to the hospital around here. It's like, oh, you look like you need fluid. Any questions? I have to deliver a baby tonight. People are all going to fail this
You just made me watch. I deserve to pass. That's not real.
Oh,
What was
that wasn't real. Wait till you get to the real videos. You're gonna love those. Oh, yeah. I got real videos and I got some from third world countries, which are spectacular. No HIPAA.
Still have like 70s or 80s in the car.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one.
Yeah, no, my dad.
He just died.
Oh, it is.
He died last year.
My dad did that. There's definitely left for YTV.
Pretty cool. All right, stage 3. The placenta is born. Usually left out, it doesn't get named like the baby does. There's some things that people are considering now saving cord blood. If you bank cord blood, there is some pretty cool stem cell stuff they can do now. They can actually reverse and cure cerebral palsy, which is pretty amazing, but only have to bank the kid's cord blood. Any questions about the 3 stages of labor? Think of it like a rocket ship. You got blast off. Here we go.
Is usually not too busy at 3:45 in the afternoon of the day. I never forget.
This is a great video. So the cool thing about this video is Berkeley PD made this back in '66, almost 60 years ago. Or actually 60 years ago. So this doctor, he was an OBGYN, he made this movie for Berkeley PD for a training video. His wife was pregnant. And they waited for her to go in labor. They already had the script ready and they actually shot the video of him as an officer delivering their child to show how to do it for emergency delivery. Because back then, cops ran the ambulance in Berkeley. Yeah. Did you see what just happened in Berkeley? Misappropriation of funds with the ambulance.
Oh.
Yeah. They bought a $290,000 ambulance without city council's permission or the county, the city auditor. Yeah. Oops. But anyway, this is back when Berkeley PD had the ambulance, and anyways, that's when this guy's actually a doctor, but he's pretty cool the way they did this in Old Bates Hospital. It's a good video.
All right, let's go to work.
Let's go to work.
We'll check on it 240 and let you know. Yeah, 550. $24,632. 207. 207. 207, reported a suspicious auto parked with the lights on and the horn blowing in the vicinity of Shasta, just east of Park Hill. KMA 550. 207. Go ahead, 207. Do you have any further information on that suspicious auto? Is there anything else on that suspicious auto at Park Hill and Shasta? Negative. Next, we have no further information, except the occupant may be in need of help. Follow up on that suspicious auto at Park Hill and Shasta. KMA 550. Check. Go ahead, 207. And that's suspicious auto. It's a blue 54 Plymouth, license number, Mary Lincoln Union, 628. 207 out.
Hey, what's the director?
Oh, my God.
Tell me what the trouble is.
I'm going to have a baby. I'm going to have a baby, Ron. Please help me. Please. Wait, you've got to help us. You've got to help her.
I'm going to get an ambulance. It's the truth of the matter. I think I was more scared than she was. Then I remembered one day, a week before, after our first aid class, the instructor gave us his most important advice. Keep calm. Keep calm. Keep calm. Keep calm. If there are no more questions, gentlemen, that's it for today's class dismissed.
Thanks a lot for your help.
I really appreciate it.
Hi, Jim, how's it going?
Chuck, you know Jim Branch, don't you? Jim, North, this is Bob North, Bob Pryor, and Pete. How do you do? I have a question. Well, North has beat 1, and I have beat 2. And I got to thinking, what would I do if I had to deliver a baby? Seems to me Pete here will answer that question. He delivered more babies than most doctors. That's right, boy. Just call for me, and I'll be there in my trusty ambulance. But what if Pete doesn't get to us in time? What do I do then? It's the same advice as before. You see, childbirth is to convey a feeling of confidence to the mother in her ability to deliver the child. What would you say was next, Pete? Get the mother to be to a hospital before she delivers. That's right. Are there any other questions? Yeah, how do you deliver a baby? I thought we'd answered your question. All right, I know you're worried about techniques and so forth, right? Okay, so you can't get her to the hospital on time. You come to your own fear, and you'll have it by calming her, making her comfortable. You ask her to remove her underclothes. You already asked for the ambulance, and nature's about to take its course. From there on, it's mostly what you don't, not what you do. You don't interfere with a natural sequence of events. That's right. For example, you don't try to hurry the birth by pulling on the baby. Now, that could injure the baby's neck muscles and possibly harm the mother. You mean that's all there is to do, just receive the baby? There must be something else. Yes, you support the baby and keep it clear of any waves, and hold on to it. They're slippery. How about the cutting of the cord and all the other things the doctors do? Well, first of all, you're not a doctor. And if you don't have a receiving blanket and a bassinet in your car, then I'd say your job would be to get the mother and baby to the hospital. If the mother is able to hold her baby, give it to her. For the moment, you could place it face down on the mother's stomach, face down to allow any fluids in the baby's mouth or nose to drain. Just make sure the baby can breathe and is breathing. Well, like Chuck has been trying to tell you, lacking materials and ability, then it's mostly a case of what you don't do. If you could see a birth firsthand, overcome your fear by witnessing it, watch an experienced person like Pete here. Receive the child, cut the cord if necessary. He'd also learn what to do with the materials he carries. But lacking that opportunity, then you simply receive the baby. Any other questions? Yeah, I've got a lot of questions, but as you said, we're not doctors. Hey, we better be going. Yeah, I gotta get going too, Chuck. I'll see you later. Remember, keep calm. Remembering all this was a big help. I decided to put it into action. Keep calm. Why don't you go up there and tell her I'm going to help, and I'll be there in a minute. 207, 207. Go ahead, 207. A suspicious auto turned out to be an emergency maternity. Could you arrest an ambulance? She claims she's going to deliver any minute. We'll try 207. Ambulance to Shasta, just east of Park Hill, emergency maternity. Park Hill, on the way. 207, ambulance en route, KMA 550 clear. An ambulance on the way. How is she?
I'm scared. When Aunt called me to take her to the hospital, I didn't think, oh, why did I get a flat tire?
Listen, don't worry, we'll manage. How are we doing? Look, make her comfortable and keep her calm. You might take her underclothes off. I'm going to move my car and get some lights in this car just in case. Where's he? What's the situation?
The baby's being born, I think. What do we do?
Your friend is scared enough. Why don't you go around to the other side of the car and try to keep her calm? You come to your own fear, and you'll have it by calming her. Now, don't worry, lady. Everything is going to be all right now.
Why don't you do something? Can't you help her? Can't you give her something?
I've called for an ambulance. Now it's up to nature and our little mother here. Don't interfere with a natural sequence of events. You're doing fine. Will you please calm down? Wipe her forehead.
Just put gentle pressure against the cardiac, that stops it from being an explosive birth. So you should do until the head pops out.
Baby's head
Gentle
is
pressure,
coming.
not hard pressure. Let the shoulder pop out.
You don't try to hurry the birth by pulling on the baby.
Relax, Ann. Relax. Oh.
You support the baby and keep it clear of any waste, and hold on to it. They're slippery.
Oh. Here's the ambulance.
Everything is going okay.
It's a boy. It's a boy, Ann.
Just take it easy, Bob. You're doing a good job.
You're okay.
Here, use this to clean the baby's mouth out. Keep at it, Bob. Keep at it. Why don't we check the cords first and see if there's still a pulse?
Don't worry, Ann.
Be careful. Don't pull on the cord. Just let the afterbirth take its course. Here is where a basin would be helpful. It helps catch any weight. Put your hand on the mother's stomach and massage it gently. That'll help reduce any hemorrhages. Although usually under these conditions, they seldom have such problems. Okay, that ought to do it. Certainly took the ambulance. Congratulations, Bob. Thanks, indeed. But the job isn't over. The cord didn't count. Well, now remember, Bob, that's not your job. Let's take a look now. George, would you get the maternity fit check? Well, how's the new mother? And how's that new baby? Everything looks shipshape. Well, the mother and child look fine. Better like the hammer. Here's the maternity kit. Okay, Bob, here's your chance to practice medicine. I'll show you how to cut the cord. And here's the tying tape. Now, tie a square knot there. And tie the next knot about 3 inches from the other. Now, all you have to do is cut in the center of the two tapes. Here. Attaboy, you're doing fine. Would you like to hold your baby? Here. Fine. All right. Now hand me the baby and get the mother's friend to come with us. We'll get them to the hospital.
Thank you, officer. It'll all be over soon.
All right, now the next operation is the placenta or the afterbirth. I've got a bag here in which to place the placenta so we can take it to the doctor. He'll examine it and can tell if all of it came out and other things, I guess. Good, good. All right, now put this between her legs like a sanitary napkin. Okay, that's fine. Now let's get moving. Ma'am, get your coat. Why did you go with these officers? They'll take you to the hospital with your friend. What hospital are you going to? Albert Bay. Her husband and the doctor are waiting there. Right now. Fine. How you doing?
Fine.
No. She don't have to come in those kinds of work. That's an example. Oh, that night? All right. Well.
Everything's going to be okay.
I'm sure everything will be all right. Don't worry.
I feel like I've messed everything up.
Oh, don't you believe it? Everything's gonna be fine. Look, why don't you go over and cheer up the husband? Give him a big smile, all right?
Okay.
Good. Well, it isn't young Dr. North. What are you doing here, applying for a job? I have to complete my report. I don't even have the name of the mother. Well, here, I got most of the information from the neighbor there, Mrs. Kate. Your wife's fine, and so's your new baby boy. Oh, Dr. Tiber, have you met Mrs. Case? She's our next door neighbor. I'm pleased to meet you, Mrs. Case. I hope this doesn't prevent you from being a good neighbor in the future. And tell me what happened.
Doctor, it was just terrible. I don't know what I would have done if this officer hadn't come along.
I'm pleased to meet you. You did a fine job. Thank you. How's Mrs. Grant? Both mother and child are just fine. Then, I didn't do anything wrong? Well, it depends. Perhaps you and I should have a professional conference. If you'll excuse us for a moment, the doctor here and I are going to confer. Do you mind if I sit in, doctor? Oh, please do. I'd like to get all the details. Now, tell me how you delivered the grandbaby, doctor.
That's what worries me, doctor. I didn't do anything. I just received the baby when it was born and tried to keep the mother from worrying.
Oh, you did the right thing then. You kept yourself calm by calming the mother, and you let nature take its course. It's everyone's tendency to try to do more than they should, such as try to speed up the birth by pulling on the baby, when all you have to do is just let it enter your hands and hold it free from any weight. It is a pretty frightening experience the first time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Say, doctor, just before the baby was born, there was something that scared me for a moment. A big splash of water.
Well, that sometimes happens, but it's quite normal. The birth usually follows.
What worried me most was after the baby came, I didn't know what to do. All the instruction I'd had was to keep calm and receive the baby. Just about then, Peter arrived.
Well, don't give me any of the credit. You did the main job. But you see, when I arrived, the baby was already delivered. So I just tried to help out. I showed him how to use the ear syringe to remove the amniotic fluid from the baby's mouth. Good. Well, you can also use the finger to clean out the baby's mouth, but the syringe is much better. As a matter of fact, that's a pretty handy item to carry in any patrol car.
Well, that's the trouble, doctor. We don't have all of this equipment in the cars. What would you carry if you were in a patrol car?
Let's see. Well, number one, I'd say the ear syringe. And then if it were a rural area, I'd want sterile scissors, some tying tapes, perhaps a bottle of Physohex, that's a kind of a liquid soap, and a sponge to wash the mother before the delivery. I think that would do it. maybe some sanitary napkins to use after the delivery. Now, all of these items can be used in other emergencies as well. But of course, you must know what you're doing before you use any equipment. And the thing to do, if possible, is to bring a mother to a doctor. The cord doesn't have to be cut. In fact, it might be best in emergencies to not cut the cord unless you've been properly trained. You're a beautiful mother.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank you too, officer, both of you. I was sure worried.
Me too.
Well, I've got to get going. I'll see you later. Okay. It's an experience you'll never forget. May I add my thanks?
May I give you a ride home?
No, thanks. My husband will be picking me up. Besides, I want to look in on Aaron and Terry. By the way, I'm sorry I was so silly before. I guess I was just plain frightened. But you were terrific. Thanks.
Well, that was it. Like the doctor said, it was an experience I'd never forget. And one I wouldn't want to.
Two oh seven. 207 back in seven.
207, check a stolen bicycle at 2640 Hayes. Can't make 550 out.
Check.
All righty. Good break. Be back at 5 minutes after 8, ready to go into teams.